A lot of people say follow your passion. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And hey, I do stand-up comedy. I love it. Some of the best experiences in my life have been on stage. And because I love comedy so much, I want to make sure it's never my primary source of income. Let me explain. Okay, the people who say follow your passion, I'm not trying to say they're wrong or anything. When I was 25, I was grinding work and nothing else. I was super accomplished career-wise. I was doing really well financially. It seemed like I had a path to being a CMO or a director of marketing or something, but deep down, I was super unhappy. I did not feel fulfilled outside of work. Then I started doing stand-up. Comedy was great for me. I was able to be creative in a way I couldn't be at work. I met a lot of great people. I met a lot of good friends. And I started being a lot more charismatic off stage as well. And look, I don't care if it's comedy or something else. I believe pursuing an art is good for the soul. Everybody should do it. But that doesn't mean you should do it full time. And look, I've been around comics who made it in some sense. They have hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. They're genuinely funny and they can sell out shows in multiple cities. They're very talented and still they constantly struggle for cash. Like they're so far ahead of me and they tell me, oh, hey, I am jealous of you. You have a real career. You can make money. It's like, dude, you should not be jealous of me. Stand-up comedy is a horrible way to make money. There are a few guys like Bill Burr who make a lot of money, but even those guys need to do stuff like the Riyadh Comedy Festival. There's a lot of very talented people who work super hard who are just below them and are constantly struggling financially. And look, if you're pursuing any kind of art, I think it's important to think about your goal. Like, what's your goal with comedy? Is it to be rich and famous? Or are you doing comedy because it's meaningful for you and you enjoy doing it? If the answer is the latter, then doing it full time might actually hurt you. So let me give you a couple of examples. I co-produce a monthly show in San Jose called Spaced Out Comedy. We sell out regularly and we've kept tickets at $14 for a long time. Now at that price point, it's super affordable as a show, but me and my co-producers often break even or even lose money. And we've discussed this, we don't want to raise prices. Right now, the show is great because anyone can afford it. We get a lot of college students. It's a really fun community. And people are really happy when they leave the door. A lot of other comedy shows rip them off. There's like 2 drink minimums. They end up spending $100 for a night out. We do not want to become that. We want people to have fun. And we're able to do this because me and the other co-producers have real careers and we don't rely on the show for money. That example has more to do with running shows, but I think the same concept applies, if you're just telling jokes. If that's your full-time income, you might be pressured to do jokes just because it's good for the algorithm, but you don't really like them. If you have another source of income, you just do what you want to do in comedy. And look, I've seen this online a lot. I'm sure you guys have seen this online a lot. People who are like, yeah, I had this corporate job I hated. I was making 6 figures and I realized I needed to quit to do my art. And look, good for those people. But a lot of the times, I think there might be other options there, right? Like, I think a lot of people hate their job, maybe because they're in the wrong career path or they're just at the wrong company. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to drop your career entirely to pursue art. I heard your career should be an intersection of what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. So for me, I work in marketing. I love it. It allows me to be creative. I've made good money doing it, and I found it easy to balance with comedy. And I'm glad I chose that as my profession. When I was in college, I thought I wanted to be an accountant for a little bit. I know for a fact I would have been miserable if I chose that because it's not a career where you're allowed to be creative. You're only creative if you're enabling crime or you're working for the mafia. And look, I've been in a place where I didn't like my day job. By the time things ended with my last company, I was so checked out mentally. I just didn't believe in the company's mission. And I did need to take some time to reevaluate, hey, is this still the right career for me? Then I reflected and I realized I still love marketing. I love creating content. I just needed a change in scenery. I wish I jumped ship a lot sooner, but it was a remote job. I was really comfortable. I didn't want to give it up, but looking back, I definitely should have left a lot sooner. So I totally understand if you hate your day job, but that doesn't mean you have to pursue your art full time. Maybe it is the right path for you, but maybe you should just think about finding a new career path, right? Maybe you're not in a career path that's taking advantage of your unique skills. Maybe you're just at the wrong company. Just evaluate all your options is what I'm saying. Let's summarize this video. You should pursue your passion. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I've had great experiences from comedy. It's made me a much more well-rounded person. If I didn't have that, I'd just be another SF tech bro cornering you at parties talking about AI startups. It would have been cringe. I am so glad that's not who I became. But hey, in a lot of cases, it might be better if you don't try to make a full-time living from your art. It is totally possible to balance a career with your artistic passions. Hey guys, that's the video. If you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much.